Hey everyone, welcome to this weekend Sidereal Astrology forecast for November 18th to the 20th of 2016. I'm Athen, and this channel is about using the actual constellations in the sky known as Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so this weekend we do have the disseminating phase of the lunar cycle, which means a bit of momentum from what we've been becoming more aware of last week. Essentially last Monday we had a full moon, which was a time of awareness, maybe some new insights. And so it's a good weekend to sort of continue with that momentum, continue with that cultivation of things in our life. Now, on Friday, the moon is going to be in Gemini. And so I think on this day in particular, maybe good for inquisition, maybe doing some reading, some writing, some sharing of information, getting into the mental and communicative side of life, and even the practical side of life, how things can be actually applied and practiced and implemented on that daily sphere. Now, Friday is a collectively challenging day, and I think, again, where there is challenges, there is also great reward. Spiritual development, spiritual growth is what this looks like. And this is involving Mercury, who's going to be squaring up to that conjunction with Neptune and the South Node that I've been talking a lot about. So this is Mercury, the planet of our minds. Again, very much like Gemini, but in this case, our minds squaring up to the vastness, the uncertainty of life, everything that's beyond, our understanding of things, beyond the greater reach of things. And this is what's basically been being brought back into balance collectively, is a greater acceptance and a greater surrender of everything that's outside of our immediate control, which is, of course, so much, because the only thing we have control over really is ourselves in terms of how we respond and react to things in our life, and then also, of course, our personal growth and personal development, such as through self-improvement and things like that. So it is an excellent day for self-improvement, for personal growth, and again, surrendering as best as we can, letting go of everything that is outside of our immediate control. Okay, and this does make it a really good day for things like meditation, things that do help us get in touch with that, because so many things can be meditative. It doesn't have to be sitting in a lotus position. It could be going for a run if you're more on the athletic type. It could be maybe work and routine is meditative for you. But it's getting into that present state. And the reason is because Mercury, who wants to have everything figured out, which is our minds, will sometimes project when it's squaring Neptune. So we might project things into the future, or project things in general, illusions, delusions, fantasies that aren't the reality, and that can create, again, uncertainty, doubt, and all kinds of other things. So it's about balance, and in the square it's always about implementation, it's about practice, it's about discipline. And here, disciplining the mind, being aware of the mind, being aware, being present, and then again, working on ourselves in terms of how we can surrender, how we can let go and detach from everything that's outside of that immediate control. And again, that's what Neptune and the South Node have been helping us bring back into balance, and will continue to help us bring back into balance collectively going into next week. Now, as we go into Saturday, the moon is going to shift into Cancer. So there is this shift of where I think it is more mental and more about that kind of thing on Friday, going into a more emotional and nurturing side to life. All right, so on Saturday, I think very good for a bit of reflection, maybe a bit of privacy. Spending time at home or with family can oftentimes be good with Cancer. Getting in touch with our bodies, health, things like that, but really just getting a bit of that reflective time, that private time, and protective time, and as a result, can be very emotionally satisfying, can be easygoing. The moon likes to be in Cancer. There can be a bit of flow, but it's really accessing that watery and intuitive side to life. Now, with that, Venus is actually then going to be sextiling up to Neptune and the South Node, which is nice, and in very many ways a contrast to Friday. And so what this is, all sextiles are just sort of opening. Okay, it's not a given. It's not like a trine where it's, definitely supportive. It's just this sort of opening where we have this opportunity, I think, to enjoy a bit of the tranquility in our life, to enjoy a bit of that surrender, letting go, and detachment. Okay, it could be creative. We could have really good imagination with Venus sextiling Neptune. It can be easygoing in relationships. Venus is in Sagittarius, and there's been a lot of this more inspiring energy that can certainly be cultivated with Venus and Sag, right? A bit of the open-mindedness, a bit of the adventure, inspiration, lighter stuff. But with the sextile to Neptune, I think it's more of a willingness to be present, right? Go with the flow, enjoy things that can be relaxing, right? And that kind of thing. I think it's just an opening for that, but it's certainly available on Saturday and even going into Sunday. Now, with that, Neptune is actually going station direct right at the same time with that sextile from Venus going into Sunday. So what this means is, with all of this stuff that we've been transforming internally, with, again, bringing balance back to this area, in other words, saying that it is about living in the present moment without projecting anything, or living in the present moment without apathy and lethargy and just wanting to escape reality. This is about positive change, and this positive change is moving forward collectively with Neptune going direct. So things are moving forward. Now, it's going to take time, of course, for Neptune to gain momentum. He's a very slow-moving planet, but things are shifting, and I think we'll see it. And I think just generally, collectively, there is greater acceptance going on. This could be, again, about the world. It can be about our individualism, who we are. This is all Aquarius, where this is taking place. So a really good weekend for implementing the change I've been talking a lot about, but I think we're going to notice that shift moving forward. And then again, Venus in harmony to that does emphasize this bit of support with it. Maybe support with relationships, maybe the sensual side to life, enjoying being grateful for what we have in life can sometimes be very easy with Venus sextiling Neptune. And things shifting in that department. And sometimes too, when Neptune does go direct, sometimes it does create a bit more of the, fantasy world. Okay, so it's, again, that's the imbalance of Neptune. So it's, again, very important to be cultivating, I think, the healthy qualities of Neptune: acceptance, faith, trust, presence, all these things that help us, again, surrender to the divine process, if you will. All right, so that's the shift into Sunday, and Sunday is going to have the moon going into Leo and a grand trine, in fact, with the moon. So there's a lot of easier energy going into Sunday in terms of, the collective energies. Of course, it's all what we make of it. But the moon going into Leo on Sunday does make it a bit more about expressing ourselves. Okay, so very good for that. Very good for creative things, maybe a bit of entertainment, fun, playfulness. It's basically just seeing that life is about having fun. Life is about enjoying ourselves and cultivating the things we're passionate about, which is Leo. And again, expressing that passion in our lives. So that's the weekend in a nutshell. The way I would sum this up is that, yes, Friday is a very good day to challenge ourselves, to be, again, developing ourselves spiritually with more acceptance in our life. A lot of that is moving forward with Neptune shifting direction. Okay, it's definitely moving, but there's this sort of pause this weekend. It's a good time to sit with the energies, see what's shifting. You can even watch your weekly to see which house Neptune's going direct in, which is suggesting a shift to that area of life. But things are shifting. Things are moving forward to where I think collectively we do have greater acceptance. We do have greater presence and tranquility and peace, which really comes as a result of that. And Venus sextiling Neptune makes it lighter. It makes it so that, yes, we can see the value in all this, and our relationships and the sensual and material life can be easygoing, and we can have that gratitude, and all that can be very supportive there. And then let's not forget the grand trine with the moon, making it quite supportive going into Sunday with Leo, expressing ourselves and having a bit of that passion in life. All right, so I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all on Monday. Take care.